Wise English Stories.
On the outskirts of Green Valley, nestled amid vast fields and rolling hills, lay a modest family farm owned by Ben Thompson and his young son, Liam. The Thompsons had lived on this land for generations, each father passing down the wisdom and pride of farming to his son. Ben had inherited the farm from his own father, who had taught him to work the fields and care for the soil with respect and patience. But in recent years, the farm had fallen on hard times, and Ben worried that he might not be able to keep the land for Liam. As a child, Liam loved everything about the farm. Even before he was old enough to help, he would follow his father through the fields, marveling at the way the land changed with the seasons. By the time he was 12, Liam was helping his father from sunrise to sunset, learning the ins and outs of the farm. While his friends spent their weekends playing video games or watching TV, Liam was in the fields, his hands in the soil, his face in the sun. Yet, even though Liam and his father worked hard, they struggled. With rising costs, unpredictable weather, and fierce competition from bigger farms, it seemed as though they were always just getting by. Ben knew they couldn't keep this up forever, but he had too much pride to give up the land that had been in their family for generations. And Liam, determined as he was, dreamed of finding a way to keep their farm not only surviving but thriving. One evening, as the two of them sat on the porch overlooking the fields, Liam turned to his father. "Dad," he began, his voice filled with the quiet resolve that was rare for a 15-year-old. "What if we tried growing something new? Something people would pay more for?" Dan looked at him, surprised. "What do you mean, son?" Liam explained his idea. They could plant specialty crops, things like organic herbs, berries, and nuts that were harder to find but in high demand. Liam had done some research online and found that more people wanted organic, locally grown produce, and it was often sold at a higher price. Ben was skeptical. "I don't know, Liam. Growing those crops is a whole different game. It's risky." "But we're already risking everything just to keep up, aren't we?" Liam asked, his eyes pleading. "We're good farmers, Dad. If we can make this work, we could really change things." After a long silence, Ben nodded. "All right, we'll try it. But only if you're willing to work just as hard to make it happen." With that, father and son shook hands, sealing their new plan. Over the next few months, they put in long hours learning about organic farming practices, experimenting with different crops, and adapting their land to support the new plans. It wasn't easy, and they had plenty of setbacks. But each time they faced a challenge, Liam was there, pushing forward with a determination that made Ben proud. The first year of their new crops was tough. They battled with pests, learned the hard way about soil conditions, and endured an unseasonably hot summer. But by the end of the season, they had something they hadn't had in years: a profit. Their success caught the attention of a local restaurant owner, who loved the quality of their produce and asked if they would be willing to supply his restaurant exclusively. This deal provided them with a steady income and the encouragement to expand. Soon, they were selling their crops at the farmers' market, and word of their high-quality produce spread quickly. With each passing season, their little farm grew. They hired a few seasonal workers to help, expanded their fields, and invested in better equipment. And though they still faced challenges, Ben and Liam tackled each one with the confidence that they were building something meaningful. As Liam grew older, he took on more responsibility. He learned about business management, marketing, and logistics. Ben taught him everything he knew about farming, but Liam brought fresh ideas and a sense of innovation that helped them adapt to the changing market. Together, they became an unstoppable team. By the time Liam was 25, he had transformed the farm into a successful operation. They had partnerships with restaurants and stores all over the region, and people came from miles around to buy their produce. But Liam had bigger dreams. He wanted to expand beyond their local market and reach customers all over the country. One evening, he sat down with his father to discuss his plans. "Dad, I think we should start exporting. There's a big demand for organic produce, especially in other countries. We could ship our products and reach a whole new market." Dan listened carefully, pride shining in his eyes. He had always known that Liam would take their farm to places he could never have imagined. But the idea of exporting was daunting. "That's a big step, son. It'll take a lot of money and planning." "I know," Liam said, undeterred. but I've been looking into it, and I think we can make it work. I've already started reaching out to some contacts, and I have a plan." With Ben's support, Liam threw himself into his new goal. He spent hours researching export laws, finding buyers, and building relationships with distributors. He learned everything he could about shipping logistics, quality control, and packaging. He even took a business course to ensure he understood the complexities of international trade. The first shipment was small, but it marked a significant milestone. Liam watched with pride as a truck loaded with boxes of their farm's produce drove away, bound for a port where it would be shipped to a distant country. It wasn't just about the money, it was about proving that a family farm, built on hard work and perseverance, could compete in the global market. Over the next few years, Liam and Ben's farm grew into one of the country's top exporters of organic produce. They hired more staff, invested in technology to help with production, and expanded their farmland. Their reputation spread, and soon they were exporting to several countries with a brand that symbolized quality and sustainability. One day, as Ben walked through the fields with Liam, he looked around at the thriving farm and the workers bustling about, and he felt a surge of pride. "You've done it, son," he said, clapping Liam on the back. "You took this old farm and made it something extraordinary." Liam smiled. "We did it, Dad. I couldn't have done any of this without you." Ben shook his head, his eyes misty. "You took it to heights I never dreamed of. I just taught you how to work the soil, and you taught me about hard work, resilience, and loyalty," Liam replied. "Those are the things that made this possible." That evening, as they sat on the porch overlooking the fields, they watched the sun set over the land that had given them everything. For Ben, it was a moment of peace, a time to reflect on the years of struggle and triumph. For Liam, it was a reminder of the dreams yet to come, the new possibilities that lay ahead. Together, they had built something that would endure, a farm that would be remembered as a place where hard work and hope transformed the soul into something extraordinary. And in the years to come, when people asked how they did it, Liam would smile and say, "It started with my father, a patch of land, and a dream."